All right, we are live. Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. एक बार quick mic test. Hello बोल देते हैं हम, and you guys tell us if you're able to hear us. Let us open it on our end also, so that we can look at the comment section. Cool. We have 22 lovely people with us today. Vani,
Yes,
say something.
let me quickly put it in the group.
Yes, we'll be starting in a minute or two. So meanwhile, we'll just give you the agenda of today. We'll be talking with data, pure data, and we have taken the past 5 years. We'll be showing the number of questions that have come, and we'll be talking about how someone should attempt a mock. What are the 3 key parameters for attempting a mock? We won't take a lot of your time. If you're going to study rattle, just 30 minutes into this and then you go jump studying, that is the best thing you can do. We will not waste your time with unnecessary information which is said multiple times so far. So on that note, we shall get started. Yes, we finally added 2023. Just give us a minute. We're putting it in the group. We'll get a little more people in so that everyone is at the same stage.
Till then, we can answer doubts from the chat.
Yep. Till then, feel free to ask us questions. Chat.
Yes.
And we'll take that first. Hi Rishi, hi Yash, hi Ridhima, hi Vishwarup, hi Rame, hi Suryansh, hi Yash. I think people don't have any doubts here. Group में message गया ना?
Yes, I've just sent it.
Perfect. So I hope you guys have had dinner or you're eating while watching it. We have 55 days.
We should ask them how their last board exam was.
The last time we asked them about their boards, they said they did not want to talk about it. But we are happy that most of your board exams are done and dusted. Yes, we'll be sending this at the end of the live. So join our group if you have not already. हाँ शुरू करते हैं विश्वरूप. We'll just get 10 more people in so that everyone is at the same pace. We've just put the message in the group and we'll talk about it. Reason behind Vani's glow.
Reason behind my glow. I don't know.
Plucker, I attempted
Good
the free
lighting.
mock. I attempted the free mock before boards, and today I did again. Big leap. Let's go. Very proud of you. Very proud of you. ठीक है, शुरू करते हैं क्या? Do we have enough people?
We have around 70 people, I think.
70? You guys will make us cry. Thank you so much. ठीक है, ये वाला side में रख देते हैं. Yeah. Oh, we have 69 people watching. Cool. Let's start. ये खुल गया है, and you know exactly once no game logic which was used in this question. Okay, Vani is back. So ऐसे का हमने बहुत सारे questions देखे. Logical in nature, a big leap from last time which was just math. So you need to think, and this is also a good boon for people who are non-math students. देखो, if you can understand the funda and the logic, IPMAT का questions में you can easily pick 10-15 questions that can be easily solved. Okay, that was observation number 1. So Vani, what other observations did you have about the paper?
I was not here, but yes. Can you please catch me up?
Yes. So basically we'll discuss in 5 minutes. I think my current had gone, but internet should still be working. Right? Lagging.
Oh, no electricity.
Yeah, but my internet should still be working. Cool. Lag ho raha hai, but I think people are still here. Cool. I hope internet is still working as intended.
9.
Wait, why is there 2 of you? Wait, is it lagging or not? Okay, let's just jump with the first observation once more. Okay? First observation, you saw a increase in the questions which were more logical in nature. This was the question that we talked about. In a chess tournament, there are 5 contestants. Each player plays against all the others exactly once. ठीक है, 5 लोग हैं, they play against each other only once. No one is drawing. You have a winner, you have a loser. The winner gets 1 point, loser gets 0 point. बहुत simple and straightforward. Which of the following sequences cannot represent the score of the 5 players? So if you draw your matrix, Iqbal, so let me actually show you guys. If you draw the matrix, you will see something like this. So A, B, C, D, E playing against each other. And if A is getting 4 points, that means A is winning against B, C, D and E. B can only get a maximum of 3 points. B also cannot have 4 points, A also cannot have 4 points. So option D, gone, kam khatam. This is a question that won't take more than 30 seconds if you can think well. So this was my first observation कि बहुत ही logical questions आ गए थे ये साल. Now the second observation which Vani had shown is this. The DILR questions were much easier. So people thought maybe the IPMAT ka examiner, people skip DILR, let me make it easy this time. Because 2021 mein the DILR was so easy, I mean so hard, but before 2021 it was very easy. People used to depend on DILR. 2021 में shock हो गया. 2022 का भी थोड़ा मुश्किल था. People were thinking कि DILR कौन ही करेगा, बहुत मुश्किल है, let's skip it. But 2023 very easy. 5 questions, which is basically 20 marks in less than 5 minutes. It was that simple. And yet people skipped it. Do not make this mistake. And we'll be talking about how you need to look at DILR when you open your MCQ ka sectional immediately. Vani.
Yes, I mean, yeah, DILR was one of the biggest because the past few, like 2 years, the DILR was actually pretty difficult. So even if you don't have a base in DILR, because it's something that's hard to practice for IPMAT, considering that we don't have a lot of data in general about the kind of questions they ask. But you should still try to go and do it with a very calm mind, that just give it 1 minute. Consider that 1 minute is an investment that might not have any returns, but just write it down and see if you're able to get it right, and if not, it's completely fine. But yeah, so if we apart from that, if we look at last year's paper, one thing that is similar, and despite changing yours, is that you will find a lot of easy questions. There are people who feel ki, nahi, like this does not even look like an IPMAT question because that's how easy it looks. But there are a lot of easy questions, and I think that's what we're trying to tackle today. We're trying to help you guys figure out how you should be giving your mocks such that you can maximize your scores in the actual exam. And make sure that you're getting the easy questions right before you jump onto the harder ones.
All right. So we've talked about the past year paper. These were 3 main observations. Do not skip DILR. Understand कि questions are also logical in reasoning. So दिमाग को थोड़ा switch on करो exam के time में. Tension मत लो. We also learned one very important thing कि if the paper is hard for you, it is hard for everyone. And this implies that cutoff falls. Unlike other coaching, we are not going to sit and give you target scores because that is pretty useless and pointless. We do not know next year का paper easy आएगा या मुश्किल आएगा. Imagine next year's IPMAT is even more harder. It's not. Hopefully it is not. But imagine it is very hard. Cutoff इतना नीचे गिर गया कि 15 marks for MCQ is a very good score. So understand.
To add on something, like imagine this: you're giving your essay section and you've taken this target from other coachings कि नहीं मुझे 24 आना चाहिए, मुझे 24 ही लाना है. That is 6 questions. I have to do 6 questions. But the paper is too hard, right? And you're moving on to the next section with maybe just say 4 questions that are done, which might be more than enough for that particular year. But you're moving on to the next section with a lot of anxiety, feeling that you haven't done well enough. So it is a game of uncertainty, and there will be coachings out there which will try to tell you ki for certain ki nahi, if you aim for this, you'll get in. If you aim for that, you'll get in. But going in with that mindset can hurt you in the actual exam. The ideal way, like now I've also been in the other part of the preparation, right? Like when I was preparing, that uncertainty was not easy to handle. It always constantly felt that if I just knew how much I'm supposed to get, like it'll be much more easier. Like I can go into the mock exam knowing how many questions I need to solve. So what you need to do is instead of trying to say trying to figure out a target score in your very initial, just this is just to get you started, because the next 50 days is going to be you just solving mocks, right? Maybe what you can do is you can try to take it slow, try to uh, first maybe say ki in the essay section you're just trying to do two questions. Like for somebody who's just starting out, that might it might be hard for them to even get there, right? But you've decided for then, but then you can't, like, a big problem with that in the longer term, maybe you can do it for the first 2 3 mocks to get used to the mock, but a problem in the longer term is that the moment that you decide ki 4 questions karna hai, and in the essay section you're done with 4 questions, you will be of a relaxed mindset. But IPMAT is all about maximizing your score. uh, that uncertainty, like that 4 mark extra that you will push yourself for when you have the mindset of maximizing, will actually make a huge difference, because when you're calculating the ATS score, it's literally just 1 2 marks that create a huge difference in your ranks before your interview. So that is why, okay, you want to think of a target for the next 2 3 marks based on where your preparation is right now. But then post that, you should start getting used to adjusting to the difficulty of the mock, because essentially that is the reason why you're giving mocks. If that was not a major reason for practicing mocks, we would have just been like, take a PDF, le lo, take as much time as you need, do all of the 45
Exactly.
questions. But that's not the point. The point is, along with learning new concepts in maths and English, you're supposed to figure out how you're going to maximize your score, right? And we're going to really go through that in this session
Yes.
today.
All right. So we've talked about these 6 points. We have a few more people. I hope you can quickly summarize it for yourself. Now, the thing is, how do we implement all of these things in our learnings? How can we take all these observations and make our mocks, make your mock attempt better? Before that, we'll have a quick rundown for this PDF. Right now we have 86 people, 37 likes हैं, फट से 100 likes कर दो, and we'll send this PDF in our WhatsApp group so that all of you can have it. This is the trends of the actual IPMAT paper for the past 5 years और कितना question उसमें आया है. And this in itself will give you an idea कि okay, what is being tested more often, right? So this is for your maths, this is for your English, and the objective over here is you cannot make a determination कि oh, identities has never come in the past 4 years, so it should not come next year. But then you look at things like simple and compound interest. It never came for 3 years, and then suddenly last year you had 2 questions. So the objective which we are trying to say is IPMAT is not a stock price which you can analyze or do your technical analysis in. IPMAT is subjective to the person making the paper. So if the paper setter wants, next year he can bring or she can bring 2 questions from identities. No question came from minima, maxima or indices, maybe next year you have 2 questions. So while this, it is good to go through progression and series because we always see a lot of questions from that, do not ignore these छोटे topics. You might think कि triangles में उतना question आता नहीं है, but that 4 marks could make or break your final call. I hope that makes sense. And if you're not in the WhatsApp group, just join it. It's completely free. Links are pretty much everywhere, even in this video का description में है. So yeah, hit the like button. We'll send this as soon as the live gets over. We'll be sending it. Cool. So anything you want to add, Vani, about the syllabus?
No, I think in the last like 2 3 sessions we have talked about how you can get started. But yeah, do use this syllabus as a blueprint of what topics you should be doing the most. Like identities is something that dikh raha hai ki doesn't come a lot. Of course, knowing identities will help you solve questions. But then you know कि, okay, if you do progression in series, there's a possibility that out of the 3-4 questions that come, दो तो तुमसे solve हो ही जाएंगे. So use this as a blueprint for your you know, strategy in the next 50 days, because it is not possible for you to complete the syllabus. You need to understand that. Even the person who has been studying for 2 years will often feel कि नहीं, syllabus नहीं हुआ है. They might have covered the topic once, but then भूल जाते हैं, like we forget, right? So use this as a blueprint and don't get overwhelmed with the fact कि बहुत सारे topics clear करना है. Try to solve questions and learn from them. Trust me, just watching lectures is not enough. That is what I did. Like the number of days that you guys have right now was the number of days I had in my first attempt. And I was not able to crack IPMAT because I followed the wrong approach, right? I just started out, I knew nothing about the exam. I was just sitting and watching lectures, trying to figure out how exactly things are. I didn't pick up 50 questions and solve them, which is what I should have done instead. I didn't try to get over my inertia of solving mocks. Like I kept getting anxious and I didn't give mocks. And it didn't help me. Like I wasn't able to do well in IPMAT. So don't make the mistakes that I did. Don't try to complete the syllabus. That is what I was trying to do in my first attempt. Doesn't help. Sit down, solve questions, solve mocks, get used to how you're supposed to give the paper, along with uh, covering enough concepts instead of focusing on doing everything possible.
And this leads us to one very important point. Being good with math does not always translate to high mock scores. And we see this with people. Think about your own attempt. Have you ever thought कि okay, ये question mock में नहीं हुआ, but अभी when you're sitting and analyzing it, you're like, हाँ ये question बहुत easily हो जाता, मुझे तो ये आता है. Have you felt or not? एक बार chat में yes 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 बोलो. If you felt all of that, also just to give more clarity, Vani is at IIM Indore right now, your dream college. She's talking about her first attempt when it did not happen.
So
Just to
I've given
clarify,
IPMAT
Lakshmi.
twice. Yeah, I gave my first attempt in 2021, and then I didn't clear it. In 2022, I attempted again, cleared it.
So she's at Indore, I'm at Ranchi. So let's talk about this. Being good, nice, people saying yes, 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 yes. So the lang ho jata hai.
Yes.
Being good with math does not always translate to high mark scores because you feel pressurized, tensed during mock. How to kill this? How can you remove all the tension or pressure movements that you feel during a mock attempt? By calming your ass down and understanding that you don't have to solve 15 out of 15 nahi karna hai. You do not have to do all the 15 questions. This is not your CBSE exam. In CBSE, hard questions का 4 marks होता है, easy question का 1 mark. IPMAT में सबसे easiest question का भी 4 mark होता है. And you cannot believe how, like, the amount of easy questions that have come. People really feel sad when they look at the question paper after 15 days, 10 days, when the list comes out, and they're like, ये क्या कितना आसान question था. And if we actually put some of those easy questions in our mock, you will come to us and say कि क्या easy mock बना दिया. Right. I hope that made sense. Now, we've talked about all of this, and I think it is a good time to talk about mock strategies. Have we missed anything, Vani?
No, I think we should actually move on to the
Yes.
mocks. This is something that we did last year as well, with a lot of the students. So I think if you've especially given the first pre-mock, you'll be able to take
Cool.
back a lot with the session.
Now, in mock strategy, since you now know that your job is not to do everything, what it is that you need to do. So there's this very nice thing called the ABCs of IPMAT. Let me draw it nicely over here. A, B, and C. It basically says, अभी करो, बाद में करो, and lastly, छोड़ दो. And this is how you need to approach all your IPMAT questions. Some people do mark for review in the mock attempt. Some people like Vani, what she used to do was, in her love paper, she used to make 3 columns. And then she used to put the easy ka question number here, medium ka question number here, hard ka question number here, so that she can just look at the question number fat se. And yes, this will take starting a couple of minutes, 2, 3, 4 minutes. But because of this, tension free tha. Basically, imagine you're driving a car and you do not know where you need to go. You're just going, बीच में some dogs are coming, बीच में एक train भी आ गया, बीच में police has come and stopped you. You're getting anxiety. But, and you're like, I have not been able to travel more than 5 kilometers. Kaise, how will I reach the destination? But when you do this, you will realize that your destination was not 5 kilometers to the right. It was 1 kilometer to the left. So when you have this roadmap कि कितना question करना है, कैसे होगा, only then you will have clarity. So imagine you had 4 questions in Abhi Karoga column. You'll be like, ठीक है, next 6, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 4 questions, वही करना है. And if you do it, you will be so relaxed कि अरे 20 marks हो गया, 30 minutes बाकी है. 20 marks हो गया, 30 minutes बाकी है. That is such a good feeling. Right? So let's look at the mock strategy of one of the student. So today's new word is concede. Admit that something is true or valid after first denying or resisting it. So you guys need to concede that our mocks are really, really good. Vani, anything you have to add to the ABC ka strategy?
No, I think that summarizes it. And if this is something that you have not been able to do so far, feel free to use your sectional, so your mocks to actually, like the initial 2, 3 mocks to actually get comfortable with the strategy, because this is very important. And without this, like if you approach it as a CBSE boards ka paper where you have to solve everything, you'll actually end up messing your actual attempt, because every minute counts and is valuable in your IPMAT paper.
And one very big mistake people do is they're like, let me study अभी अच्छे से, उसके बाद mocks दे देंगे. अरे, forget it. Don't try to ration your mocks and keep it like it's a rare resource. There are people who complete, say 25 mocks होता है तो they barely manage to complete 15. Some people even complete less than 6 or 7. Right, अच्छे से use करो. Your objective is to test your strategy. Mock score में गंदे, mock का scores गंदे होंगे. That is a default. Default is low marks in mock. And you know the best part? IIM Indore does not give 2 shits about your mock scores. Let me write in a good PG-13 manner. Alright. All of these resources we share in our group, so you should join the WhatsApp community. Link is in the video description. But Abhi, let's focus on this. So this student recently started and they have gotten 83 out of 360. And the best part about this student is that they are not afraid. They're like, हाँ ठीक है, this was our diagnostic mock. I have just started. I need to learn. This has given me a check. I will put a lot of effort in. And a lot of you are also going to be in a similar situation. You are afraid, but you need to zip the band-aid off. Because of this, you're going to learn a lot of lessons. And we are here to talk about the lesson. Okay?
True. So that's what, like, it's okay if you're at this level right now. It's completely fine. And again, there can be multiple reasons why you're scoring less in your mocks. But you need to understand that this is the right, you're not expected to score very high marks. And just because you're not does not mean that you can't do well in the exam. First of all, the mindset that when you start your analysis, you should be thinking of 2 things. One is think about if you are preparing, if you're, sorry, there are 2 things. The first one is basically understanding if you're giving the mock wrong, like as in there were questions you could do but you weren't able to do, or anything along those lines. You're getting stressed under the time. Or second, you were like, say the last 5 minutes you were just not sure about what to do. You had gone through all of the questions. That means that there's a conceptual issue, right? And that is when you need to go back and solve questions, learn new concepts. So the first mindset when you start looking at your mock, and once you've done the mock, that is like the initial 2 hours, you need to then spend like 4 to 8 hours just sitting down and going through all of the questions. So make sure that you start approaching it with this mindset.
I want to talk about QA question picking, because we were just talking about how easy questions need to be taken first, and these are called low hanging fruits. Low hanging fruits. Idiom of the day, guys. Low hanging fruits. So low hanging fruits are the most easily achieved of a set of tasks, measure, or goals. So if I go to all the essay questions, what is a low hanging fruit in this? So luckily our platform gives you an easy, medium, difficult wala tag in all the questions. So let's just go to analyze over here. Essay section, difficulty easy. We had 7 low hanging fruits in the essay section. All right. And over here, oh nice, we hit a century. Virat Kohli and us have one thing in common, centuries. All right. Now in this, among these 7 questions, what went wrong or what went right? So this student was able to answer this question of progression and series, which some of you might feel कि अरे ये तो मुश्किल लग रहा है देखने में, right? But it was not for this student. They spent 4 minutes in it too. And now you might look at this question कि let x be an odd number. The sum of all even numbers between 1 and x is 79 into 80. What is the value of x? This might be easy for you. So now understand subjectivity. The topics which are easy for you might not be easy for someone else. So you also need to play on your strengths, and that will allow you to capture more marks of a particular topic, right? So
Also, somebody asked for tips with
we'll
RC.
be coming to vulnerability.
We will be doing an RC, and Bhavish will show how you can make notes while reading to increase your comprehension. So don't worry about that. First, right now, we're focusing on analyzing the mock, figuring out how you can actually learn from the mistakes that you've made, and then also like understanding what exactly are the mistakes that you're going to be making.
So now Disha says that she's a non-math student. She's at level 0 right now. I don't know where to start. The thing is, if you go and sit to watch a lot of videos, you might take up even 4-5 days to complete one particular chapter. So what this does is, now imagine that you've attempted this and you're going through it, right? And you are looking at this question and you're confused about the answer. So you can easily click on show solution over here, and you can realize, okay, cool, I have this one formula in my fingertips, and my job right now is to take a note of that and utilize that or make that come in use in future questions. So this is something that you can do. And alongside it, if you look at some questions like this one, and you have no idea how this happened, you do not understand anything of APGP, then there's nothing stopping you to just search ABGP summary or formula over here, summary. And this will give you a lot of idea of how things work. And some people read really fast, and within no time, you would have probably covered the syllabus of a 1-hour video. And then you can easily get questions, and that's what we focus at. So you just click on practice, and you're like, cool, ABGP karna hai, progression in series, practice. And you get to understand how things work out, right? Anyways, let's come back to this. So our objective, like if you look at this matrices and determinants, is any skew symmetric matrix. A lot of people might not know what is skew symmetric. And when you realize what it is and what is the meaning of trace, you'll be like, oh, ye to 10-second question tha, 10-second question. Right. So knowing the basics of every chapter is going to come in use. And that is where these analysis features come in place. If you're able to smell all the easy questions and get it done, you are at a very good position. Anything to add, Vani?
Yeah, no, so basically, analyzing your mock will be, say, honestly, it's like it's a one-step process. So on the first day, what you need to do is There are 45 questions in QA. I would say QA is the one that is the most time-taking. VA is still something that you can get through in a faster way. Even the questions that you've gotten right, be it easy, medium, you need to open every one of them and you need to tag. Doesn't matter if you don't have the platform, but you need to tag why you why you got it wrong. So it can be because you have not completed the chapter. It might be because of time pressure that, oh, you knew how to do it, but within 2 minutes you were not able to do it, right? So first of all, you need to sit down and go through those 45 questions and really force yourself to uh, take in about, say, like we had a progression and series question open, right? So try to go through the solution and try to understand it, because this is how you learn. This is why we're saying it's all right if you don't complete your syllabus. Mocks are one, they will help you strategize for the actual exam. And the second thing is that you will actually learn new concepts, right? So sit down, learn them, and then by the end of it, you will have all of the questions bookmarked. Now, the ones that are your silly mistakes, right? You need to make sure that you come back and you look at it again. What was the silly mistake that you made? Because silly mistakes have a nature. Like if you make a silly mistake once, the second time that you have a question that is similar, and you will like within the marks with the actual exam, you will see all of these concepts being used in some way or the other, right? So the probability of you making a silly mistake reduces if you keep reminding yourself of what you had done wrong. So every day, filter out these questions, go through these questions once more, because what it does is it allows you to really, like, you feel frustrated with yourself, and that frustration converts into you not making that mistake again, right? So that is with this silly mistake. Now you'll have questions that the chapter is pending. So there are, again, in the next 50 days, like if you've been preparing for the last 2 years or 1 year, that was different. The next 50 days, it will primarily be focused around your mocks and solving questions. So ideally, your aim should be to give a mock every alternate day, or give a mock every day if possible, if you're able to get there. If you feel like it's not hindering your prep, because sometimes people are just trying to give mocks instead of even learning from them. So the aim should be giving mocks and also learning, and the frequency of this should be as high as possible. Now, you've given a mock and you've figured out कि okay, ये chapter किया नहीं है मैंने. This is a high weightage chapter that I should be doing. So ideally, you're doing 6 to 8 hours, right, of studying. 4 or 5 hours goes into your mock analysis and actually giving the mock, and the remaining time goes into covering newer concepts, newer chapters. The other kind is like you've done the chapter, you're still not able to get it wrong. Completely all right. It is going to happen. You need to abhi se don't expect ki okay मैंने time speed distance किया है, that means every question of time speed distance that is going to come in the mock I'm going to get it right. Doesn't work like that. Your preparation, you will forget, right? So along with learning new chapters, there will also be chapters that you'll have to look at again. These might be chapters that you've done 3 months back. You can't expect to remember all concepts, but what you need to understand is it's not going to take you that much time again to cover it. So and this can just involve going back and solving 15 more questions that tackle different concepts. And this coverage will really, if you do this loop, it will help you strengthen all of your topics and ensure that in the actual exam, with whatever syllabus that you have done, you're actually able to make use of all of it, and you're not at a disadvantage of not knowing like 80-90% of the syllabus, right? So this is how you have to strategize. Like right now is not the time to think about completing the syllabus. Now is the time to think about the strategy that you need to use in order to clear IPMAT in the next 50 days, right? Our aim is not to make you mathematical experts. The aim is for you to crack IPMAT, and cracking IPMAT is possible without you covering 100% of the syllabus. Now moving on, time pressure. Time pressure,
1
a
minute.
lot of students.
हाँ, so I wanted someone said कि ये question में they had a doubt. So the thing is, if you just start a topic test and you're not able to answer, just click on submit. You're like, cool. Infinite geometric series का formula is s equal to s equal to a upon 1 minus r. You plug in the value, you get your answers. And you can make a note of this. And this is something we term as effective studying. Effective studying में you see progress by practice. And then you have one more thing, ineffective studying. ठीक है, उसमें क्या होता है, और what I like to term it is thinking about studying in simple words. People think about studying, but they do not see any studying happen. That is only watching or reading, but not solving. But yes, people do watch videos and then pause the videos, solve questions, complete, XYZ number of questions. If they have Arun Sharma or if they have Adi Sharma, they have this or that, or even if they have our platform or different coachings. So you need to be effective studying. So you learned one thing, one formula. Now you have one more topic, one more concept of the same topic, right? So let's just submit something. And it says, yes, this is how an AP is. And questions like these and concepts like these are fundamental for you to solve level 3 or level 4 questions on the platform, right? So essay you can attempt a lot, and that is the key which is going to help you with IPMAT. Now, coming to this, we showed you how they went about it. And this is how QA question picking can be of use. So even if you look at the MCQ section, because this was a mock analysis, so let's just jump through it once. When we look at the easy level of MCQ, we see this question which not a lot of people attempted, right? And when you solve this or you think about it, it's just a one-line answer. So that is what we try to say, do not skip on the basics of chapters. When you're practicing, when you're learning, make a note of these and it could help you. And even if it does not help in Indore, Rohtak JIPMAT, you have direct questions based on these. So why not, right? This was easy, Shreyash, but almost 60-70% of the people did not even try to attempt at it. So even you can look at this, only 1 second, they did not try. And that could also be because they are not fluent with trigonometry. But develop that fluency. That is going to make a lot of things. And we will try to analyze mocks of different students. So this is a mock of a full all access student. And if you can, help us out, increase our, if you guys want it, you can show it by subscribing and liking the video. It allows us to know that people are interested.
Yeah, because last year, if you can see, we did do a lot of mock analysis sessions, but we want to actually gauge if people will be here for it or not. So based on that, it depends on how much value it can create for you guys, and based on that, we'll see if we want to continue this as a everyday or a weekly or a frequent thing. But yeah, I actually wanted to continue. So
yes.
So going back to her mock now.
But a lot of easy questions which you guys could have solved, and you should have smelled all these questions first in order to solve it. And even LRDI, you should make sure that you look at it at least and give it a thought of a minute or two. Because it could have been very easy, 20 marks. If you look at it and try it out, it's not the most hardest question out there. You just need to trust in yourself. Yes, Vani, so sorry. Let's open the spotlight again. We talked about
so basically, you need to bookmark every question. And suppose now a chapter that you have not done is, say, modulus, right? You need to, and again, this is something I did myself. I didn't have this platform, but I used to make an Excel. I used to note down the exact question number, and I would create a tag of what exactly I did wrong with that question, right? So if it's a chapter pending and it's modulus, you write it down. The moment that you're done with modulus, you go back to all of your modulus questions and you solve them, because solving these questions in the mock, which coachings particularly make with respect to the exam, will help ensure that you're maximizing the possibility of you getting it right in the actual paper. So that is there. And then another thing is looking at the analytics. So if you can open the analyze page, this is about you going through every question. This will take around 5 to 6 hours. Now, to strategize how to actually give a mock, it's important to look at this page. And then the first thing that you see is the mock spotlight. And these three factors are literally what will determine how you will do in the actual exam. And these are the things that you need to look out for in the next 50 days. You want to make sure that the mock spotlight buttons are all green, right? So I'm not like Bhavish, are you on that page? Because I can't.
Wait, is it not showing?
No, it probably is as a lag. So the first one is the maximum time taken on a question, right? So here we can see it's 11 minutes, which is not recommended. You should not be spending more than 3 minutes ideally on a QA question, because I am 100% sure that what usually happens is you get stuck on that one question, and when you're not able to solve it, it ends up setting base for the entire section. And spending 11 minutes on one question does not definitely mean that you've not gone through all of the remaining questions, but it does stop you from ensuring that you have seen every other question that is possible. So you should not get stuck on a question and ideally spend less than 3 minutes. If you're not, like, 3 minutes should be like the cutoff point for you. Okay, nahi ho raha hai mujhse, I'll go further. I will write it down ki, okay, maybe I've done this question halfway. At the end, if I have 4-5 minutes, this is the question I want to come back to. And to be very honest, when you come back to it after you've solved, say, 3-4 more questions, you'll have more confidence to tackle that question, first of all. And second, you'll have a fresher perspective to tackle that question. So the very first thing is, if it's longer than 3 minutes, cut it off. And that is why when you're giving mocks, you have this feature where you can see how much time you've taken in that particular question, so you can move on. So this is something that you should 100% look at.
Can I show them the feature ek baar?
But then you'll have to start a mock. So
Koi nahi, I'll just open one of this, and our objective is to show you the time spent on a question, so people can see it as a training wheel. And we actually got a very good response from one student who was getting 70 and 80 marks ke beech mein, and they said that for the first time they got 143 marks, and we were so happy because people, this is a very simple thing कि एक question में ज़्यादा time मत डालो, क्योंकि 4 minutes is not, it's 10% of your time, 10% of your time, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
And
so,
just to share again my own personal experience, it was I didn't have the count up timer, but I had Bhavish sitting live with me and being like, leave the question, because I was anxious to a point, and I believe that a lot of you might be, where I would not be able to give a mock. I would just close it in the middle, which is when Bhavish was just like, okay, share your screen and give a mock. And he would tell me to skip every time that I didn't get a question right. And it took a few mocks to get to a point where I wouldn't get stuck at one question, but then eventually you're able to develop that strategy, right? And that should be your aim, to get that mock spotlight to green. And after every mock, go through like that graph of, and this is something that you'll have in every mock. Go through that graph of how much time you've taken per question, and analyze if you've strategically put it towards the right questions. Like, you need to, that is another place where you'll see if you've picked the right questions or not. If you've end up spending time mostly on your wrong questions, that means that you didn't pick the right questions. You didn't pick the questions that you knew. You didn't pick the topics that you knew. You didn't pick the easy questions, right? Now, the second one is picking easy questions. Now, this is so important, and I really can't stress this enough, because if you try to go blind, as in ki, acha, I'll start the mock and I'll try to attempt every question right away that I think I can solve. you will face difficulties, because ideally what you should be doing is bagging 4 questions that can be solved in 30 seconds before you move on to the questions that will take 3 minutes, right? Because that initial 4 questions will give you a peace of mind कि ठीक है, cut off the clear हो रहा है, now I need to maximize my score. It is with that perspective you'll be able to move in a positive direction towards scoring more, because trust me, just clearing the cutoff won't be enough. You will have to score much higher. Like, you have 900 people getting shortlisted, and then there's another 50 150 students who actually get in, and that competition is not easy, because you'll see a lot of people who are right there at the cutoff range. And as you start maximizing your score is when you start gaining advantage and when you start increasing your probability of getting in. So try to make sure that if there are 18 easy questions, you're picking all 18. Now,
And one more
if
thing I
there
want
were
to
seven,
add here is, over here you can see the timer also went to 3:31, and there are people who will still be stuck in the first question. So we really request everyone to look at all the questions, because you never know what will be easy. Like koi harm nahi hai. You can skip 15 questions at once. There will not be any harm. So please follow what Vani is saying and have this mentality and do not be scared. Yes, Vani.
yes. So this is the second thing that you should look at after you've given a mock. And if this is something that hasn't worked out for you, you need to aim for the next mock that you do it. And when you're aiming for this, right, especially picking out the easy questions, don't try to think of your score. Don't go into the mock thinking कि नहीं मेरे को अच्छा mock score लाना है, because the moment you think of that, your priority becomes immediately solving questions instead of finalizing your strategy. And the point again of giving a mock is to finalize your strategy, right? So now then the last one is negative marks. So again, go watch the ATS video if you haven't already, but that is like a very comprehensive view of how even 5 marks can set you back, right? And that is why we also have notes where we give you your rank if you hadn't gotten those negative marks. Now, if
In this case,
can you
basically,
in this case can you share?
Yeah. So the person got 83 marks and a rank of 265. Also, this is the ATS rank. We do not go with descending order of marks because Indore does not do it. You can have 10 marks less than someone and still have a better ATS if you've been able to maximize your scores properly. To understand that, watch this video like Vani said. Now the same person would have jumped 62 ranks if minus 21 nahi hota. 61 ranks out of the 484 lovely people who attempted this mock. Now, IPMAT
And that is a huge difference. Like,
it's a
I
huge
can't.
difference.
And see, this is 21 marks. Okay, we get it. Okay, you will get questions wrong. You will have negative marking. But then the moment that you start thinking, ki, nahi, I won't do guesswork, I will only mark the questions that I get right, that 5 to 10 more marks that you'll still have will have a huge difference in your rank and in your final score. So it might feel ki, okay, it's just increasing by 10, but this is like an immediate 10 mark that you can gain in the actual exam and in your mock. So don't make sure that you don't ignore this. You have to try to minimize your negative marks. Also, the whereby meeting is going to end, so I might disappear.
Okay, we'll jump to your Zoom
Huh.
in a second. All right. And so these were the 3 key spotlight indicators. And on that note, let's quickly write it down. These were the things done so far. Is there anything else that we need to talk, or should we jump to question answer now? Oh, verbal ability.
No, we do. Wait, we
Yes,
do.
yes, yes.
Huh.
Okay, guys, एक बार थोड़ा पानी पी लो सब लोग. Vani will just एक second. Let's come to your room now itself.
Yes.
एक second, guys. Let's just quickly fix this. Meanwhile, कोई question है तो chat में छोड़ दो. One is back.
Yes. Hello.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, in terms of uh, wait, let me also just open it quickly on my end.
Which part are you opening about?
The mock, because I feel me not being able to.
Makes sense, makes sense.
But yeah, I mean, we can keep taking questions from the chat till then.
भैया रोहतक एंड जिपमैट का भी करा. हाँ, विल लुक इनटू इट. अभी इंदौर थोड़ा क्या बोलते हैं इम्पोर्टेंट है लोग के लिए. So
See,
visit.
to be very honest, if you are, in terms of strategy, if you're able to crack Indore, ka system, JIPMAT and Rohtak becomes easier. So make sure, like, the thing with Indore is more of you trying to.
And it's also much basic comparative, right? And if you can study Vishwaluk, please study karo. Unless you want to know about verbal ability.
If you can go. Oh wait,
Oh
am
shit,
I
oh
on
shit,
mute?
I was
Did you
hiding.
mute me?
No, I was hiding over screen. I thought you were going to share screen right now. So,
Oh
okay.
no, I'm not sharing my screen.
Okay, cool.
I'm just opening it on my end.
Alright. Sorry guys,
Yes.
एक उपसी मूवमेंट हो गया मेरा. हाँ.
Yeah.
इसी बहाना सब लोग का कमेंट भी आ गया, so we know people are watching the live.
Watching, yeah.
Okay.
No, but yeah, go study. Like, I think that's more important, and you can always come back to the live whenever you want. This will be uploaded.
हाँ.
Yes. So now, okay, a big mock analysis thing is ki, uh, don't get intimidated by your scores, क्योंकि like I can see ki rank it's showing it's 400 or whatever, right? You need to make sure that it doesn't get to you, because 50 days is a good period of time for you to increase your level, and preparing for IPMAT will prepare you for other exams as well to a certain extent. So don't let mock scores get to you, because if you're not mentally strong when it comes to these things, you will see a negative impact in your entire preparation. So that is, I think, the last part. And then for we're analyzing Ridhima's marks. So for her, it's mainly not attempting questions that she's not sure of. I think following the strategy of shortlisting questions in the first go instead of just trying to solve everything, because I can see from the time graph that uh, a lot of time is given to like literally 2 questions in the um,
Essay and
MCQ
MCQ.
section. So yeah, and that is not the smartest thing to do. So if you're doing it right away, it's a red flag. Drop it. Try to make sure that you're not spending more than 3 minutes, and that in itself will definitely improve your score.
And
Okay.
also someone, Prakhal said essay score into 25 plus MCQ into 25. It's not that way. Even in essay, you're having a min-max normalization. So it also depends on the ranges of the lowest and the highest score possible after the cutoff is set for all categories combined. So just a brief thinking. Don't oversimplify it, because that might lead to people having the wrong idea behind it. So yes, big red lines, bad idea. Who would have thought?
Yes. Try to get to orange and then to red. Don't be a red flag.
Yes.
Please laugh at my joke.
Haha. Also, I was showing the time bar graph, so in that we have only green and red. But yeah, these mock spotlight boxes also change color depending on
Yes,
how
so
well
you
you
want
do.
to, yeah, they will become green if you, there's a criteria written over there. So if you get all of them right, you will become a
And
green
I
flag.
wanted to share a personal story also. So over here, shortlisting questions was the recommendation number one for this mock analysis. Number two was not spending too much time on one question, basically allowing yourself to solve the rest, picking easy question and whatnot. So I personally missed the MCQ cutoff by 2 marks. In IPMAT 2021, I missed MCQ cutoff by 2 marks. Do you know why? I spent 10 minutes on the DILR set without looking at any other question. I made this horrible mistake. And I took I had a rough paper thing, I tore the paper, I kept it in 4 different places because in every mock I used to depend on the DILR only. And that time the coaching had given very easy DILR. So I'm like, अरे bar graph, pie chart हो जाएगा यार, ये तो बहुत आसान है. But बहुत आसान नहीं आया 2021 में. It was a big tournaments and fixtures का sheet. I had 4 papers trying to analyze and find the answer manually by putting in every criteria and option. And I got nothing correct. And in the remaining 20 minutes, I was like, "Abbe yaar, theek hai, ye chhoro. Let me try to salvage it." Back then, the sectional time limit was 30 minutes. So, don't do what I said. Don't do what I did. That is a huge mistake. Yes.
Yes.
Huh. How?
I think if we can take maybe one more mock for
Sure.
a bit of diversity. So you can DM your password and your email, and
Meanwhile,
we'll open it, and then we'll answer questions.
yes. Bishwarup
So
says first
whoever
mock
has
में
gotten.
490 people attempted और seventh mock में only 29Q. Very good question, Bishwarup. Tell people to attempt more mocks.
But no, it's also because abhi tak boards the, so people were not giving mocks in general. And yeah, this is the first mock, so it's free, so more people have
So
attempted
if you've
it.
also told people you will be analyzing it. So I think yesterday itself like almost
Yeah, a lot
130
of
people have
people.
attempted.
Yes.
Yes. So
Well,
we'll
no.
meanwhile we'll have a Q&A. So just keep putting your doubts in the group and one person can DM the username and password to the AfterBoards ka WhatsApp number. We'll open that from all access group. So basically we have a nice cute community for people who have the all access, and obviously we have an obligation towards them, so we'll be analyzing their marks. All practice questions are of IPMAT level. Wait, let me just open one and explain this answer to you. 1 second, Vani, you will be muted for a second. I just need to type in the username and password once more. Rishi, there is no rank push, but if you feel there's any miscalculation, just let us know. We'll refresh the ranks once and it will help out. Just 1 second, guys. Opening the mock once more. Oh, you're on mute. 1 minute, please. I do not know why it mutes when I hide the screen, even though it's coming from a different screen. Yes. Screen
Okay,
is
so
back.
I've taken the person who sent it first, but considering that a lot of people shared their passwords, we might make this like a weekly thing, so that we can help more students out, and last year a lot of people actually benefited from it. So yeah.
All right. And someone, I just want to address this one question before. These topic tests have multiple levels. Even in IPMAT, you might find easy questions and hard questions. IPMAT as an exam does not have only easy or only hard, right? So you cannot learn how to do harder level of questions unless your fundamentals and basics are not strong. So even here, if you open, say, set theory ka question, your starting few questions are going to be very basic, right? But as you complete your conceptual level and you increase your ability, it is adaptive. It will increase the difficulty of the questions also. People say that they struggle with level 3 and 4. Level 1 is very easy for them. So yeah, that is how we do. We increase your level step by step and it gives you good practice. And even JE students said that they made a mistake in conceptual level, a very silly mistake, and it was a very good learning experience for them. So fundamentals are key for IPMAT. Make sure of that. Okay, should I open the next person? Have you sent the credentials, Vani?
No, 2 seconds. I'm
Allow,
sending
sir.
it to you.
Mahi says, can we get sectional test on JIPMAT pattern? Right now, our unlimited sectionals is unlimited, and it's actually a huge, tedious process to make. It took us 2-3 months to make a huge question bank. So right now, we are serving only IPMAT Indore. But we have mocks, 25 different mocks of JIPMAT, more than almost 90%
I
of
would
the
say that's
questions.
more than enough
Huh.
because your priority should be solving.
Apple, now we are personally analyzing few people's mocks. Like we are not guaranteeing कि सबका mock analyze हो जाएगा, but we are trying to pick some type of students who represent a huge bunch. So we know this student is representing a huge bunch of students who are of the same क्या बोलते हैं problem currently. So that is our objective.
Yes. I'm trying to find a mock that can help us.
Haha.
Yeah, just give me like
Aram
2
sir.
minutes.
Rishi, I
Also,
think
somebody had asked how my interview was. It was actually very nice and chill. And that professor has also taught us after that. And it's very good to sit in his classes after he allowed me to come to Indore practically. But yeah, it was very chill. So your interview experience is highly determined by which professor is taking your interview. But in general, they're very sweet, and as long as you're down to earth, and you show okay, if they're trying to make you anxious, but you're not deterring, things are great. Like you won't have a problem.
also until you can I talk about verbal ability एक minute के लिए?
Yes, do the क्या कहते हैं?
Verbal ability, guys. एक बार group में डाल दो कि we are speaking about verbal ability. इसके बाद people then come up with a lot of questions. So if everyone can be here at the same time, बहुत help हो जाएगा.
Okay, you want me to put it in the group?
Yes. One quick message in the group, then we'll talk about verbal ability, then we'll analyze one more mock, and we'll call it a day. How much time should reading comprehension take? Some people take 10 minutes, some people take 5 minutes. Around 7 to 8 minutes is an ideal time. That is more than enough. I'll tell you why people take 10 minutes. It's not because they do not know how to read fast, it's because they read the passage, they answer the first question, they go to second question, they read the question, they read the passage again. This continuous repetitive reading is the reason why people spend a lot of time, and the continuous overthinking and anxiety that you have over your answer and the lack of confidence that comes up for very fair reasons hurts your timing. So what do people do? People look at both the RCs first. Like, okay, blood group ka RC hai. You put the message right, Vani?
Yes, I just put it.
Perfect. So people look at this, they are like, okay, this is the first RC, it's about blood groups and whatnot. And this RC is about AI and ChatGPT. So some people will be like, अरे ठीक है, technology में से होता नहीं है, let me look at the RC which I am more comfortable with. So people will open that RC and read it. And they will complete that one RC first and say 8 to 10 minutes has gone, then they will jump to easy question. Because doing this question in less than 30 seconds is more feasible than getting a right answer through the RCs. Right. So there's this thing called correct answers per minute. So especially in sections where you need to complete a lot of questions in a limited time. Okay, in English, sure, you can leave 4 questions, 5 questions. But if the paper is easy, you need to have a good attempt rate. Right. And you can only attempt and have the liberty to leave the questions if you're able to क्या बोलते choose which one you want to leave. Like you should choose which one you want to leave. The time should not tell you which one to leave. And even if the time is pressurizing you, you need to be smart. Like let's look at parajumbles for a second. It's something which you need to enter, and you have 5 different sentences. Can someone tell me the probability of getting a parajumble right? What is the probability of getting a parajumble right? 5 sentences. All of you are math student. Jaldi bolo. अरे 1/5 कैसे होगा श्रेयाश? Yes, Ankit, it's 1/120 because you have 5 different ways in which you can arrange numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's nothing but 5 factorial, which is 120. And there can be only one correct way to do it. So 1/120. The probability is very low. So people tend to keep it in the last, or what they do is, or at least what I choose to do, is I look at all of these, I read it once, I'm like, okay, what makes the most sense for me to answer? I will answer 1 या 2. I will like, cool, इतना हो गया है, कब time मिलेगा end में, हम देखेंगे और सबको, because I have a greater possibility of getting these questions correct. I have more possibility of getting question 22 correct than getting question 44 correct. ये मेरा logic है, right? So this is what you can look at. Let me make a column over here. Verbal ability. What was point number 1? Choose questions that you can do first. So maybe 1 RC, then question 13 onwards. Don't break your head over parajumbles. Focus on questions. Higher marks per second, right? Or per minute कर दो, that makes more sense. Ankit, yes, some people do RCs and PJs at the end because it takes a lot of time. That is also a very good approach to go forward.
I used to do that because I would get lost in the RCs.
And
So I started
it's
doing.
very fair. And that is why
Yeah.
we have the unlimited RCs, right? You need to practice. You need to see what works for you. You cannot say,
True.
oh, just because Vani and
Oh,
Bhavesh-
I did. Yeah. I think when I was preparing, so that's the thing, right? Like, we wanted to go all tech because a lot of the problems that we faced while we were preparing would not have been solved by just uploading our mocks to any platform. So one thing was ki, oh, you feel like ki hindrance hai ki, oh, I will not give a sectional because that means I'll waste a sectional, which is not the best when you're trying to formulate a strategy, because there you're not aiming to score good marks, you're just trying to see what works out for you, and it's important to, like, you know, do that experimentation. So yeah, just give sectionals to figure out, give mocks, like give yourself that time to figure out the strategy, because what works for me didn't work for Bhavesh. What worked for Bhavesh did not work out for me. So yeah. And also, I'm so sorry, I'm taking it in a different direction. But there are 3 things, right? The first one is you are very strong in quants, you're not strong in VA. So that does not mean that you give all of your time to verbal ability, because again, it's not about clearing the cutoff, it's actually about maximizing your score so you can get into the college. The competition does not end once you've cleared the cutoff, right? So if you're good with quants, try to maximize your quant score. Do not ignore it. Quants is what will get you in. And then you need to focus on VA, and you need to clear the cutoff there so you're not held behind. The second is there's no distinction. You're great in both. Perfect. You can maximize your score by maximizing both of the sections the best that you can. And then there are people who are not the strongest with quants, but they're very good at VA. Focus on VA in a way that you make sure that even you can get to a point where you're even solving 35, 40 questions. There are people who have solved all 45 in IPMAT. So aim for that. You never know where you land up, but then at least you'll be at a very safe position in terms of getting in. You can literally be the person who has cleared the cutoff for quants with 2 marks, but has maximized their VA score and gotten in, right? So figure out not more so figuring out, but then just because you're weak in one section does not mean that you let go of what you're strong in. It's just more so the reason for you to work more on what are your strengths.
Exactly.
So yeah. And also I sent you another credential.
Cool, cool. We'll have a look after we go through this VA first. I just want to talk about the questions and the thought processes. Right.
So basically the credential I've sent now, they've given 7 marks, which gives us
Fair
good
enough, fair
ground
enough.
to
Just
just go
5 minutes, just
through.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah, after this.
So, even in Indore, like we've spoken to a lot of students who have done one or the other or both of them. And if you're feeling that I'm average in both of them, it is high time you start learning and practicing. Because at the end of the day, you also need to realize that, okay, 30,000 people, 150 seats. So if you crib about you not being good at anything, does not help you. You need to become good at something. You're not good at something now, but can you become good at something in 50 days? You absolutely can. There's this very good proverb which all of you have also heard, ki the best time to study was 2 years ago. The second best time is right now. Don't make excuses. Okay, Sandeep Maheshwari ka vibe jao. Let's focus on verbal ability. Shashi Tharul out. Okay, let's talk about RCs. You guys have understood strategy ka. I don't want to talk too much about that. You have to try what works out for you. For some people, RC works out first. Some people do RCs at the end. Some people do one RC now and the last RC later. Some people skip parajumbles. Some people try to do parajumbles. We'll talk about every sort of question. अच्छे से. So first, let's look at the blueprint of IPMAT Indore. If I am the examiner, what am I thinking? I know that this is the pattern which came in 2022 and 2023. PJs are parajumbles. PJs are parajumbles. So this is what I was referring to. PJs are parajumbles and RCs are reading comprehension. So we have 12 questions on reading comprehension and 12 fours are 48 marks. So 48 marks ka answer is within this passage, is what you will think. But you need to realize a lot of RCs also are inferential in nature. Inferential in nature means the data might be present over here, but you need to extrapolate data from this passage and answer it. Okay. I hope most of the people who are watching this have already read this passage. So हम फट से जाएंगे. So now it asks, according to the passage, how are companies training their algorithms with generative AI tools like ChatGPT and Dolly? Right. And when we look at the answer, we mentioned over here, you need to know that most RC questions in IPMAT won't always be straightforward. There could have been an option on large repositories of data that's scraped online, but that would make it too easy as the same sets of words can be recognized. Okay, let me find that large set. Larger repositories of data that are scrapped directly and for the most part indiscriminately from the open internet. So option won't directly say ki, oh, on larger repositories of data that are scraped directly and for the most part indiscriminately from the open internet. What is online meaning? Online matlab open internet. So it's a synonym, right? That is the answer. So you need to realize that the answer won't be in the same words. It could be synonyms. It could be phrased differently. You need to see the meaning. Bhavnaon ko samjho. Okay, that is what is going to help you with the RC. Some people also look at all the questions once and then they try to answer. Let's answer this one first.
Can I just say, don't do that for VA though. Don't look at all of the questions because ideally, if you're looking at a vocab question, you should mark it right away.
I meant to say, वो RC का 6 questions, like just reading through it will give you an idea of
हाँ,
what you need to look at the path. I'm not saying you read everything first.
Yeah.
God damn, do not do that.
Okay, I understood.
I'm like, okay, what are they asking? They're asking about how are they training. Okay, what is the difference between poisoning and using similar tactics to game ranking algorithm? ठीक है, ranking का देखना है, tactics का देखना है, poison का देखना है. What are they vulnerable to? What is again data poisoning? So ये poisoning बहुत important है. एक बार देख लेते हैं क्या हो रहा है. And how did inject digital poison? ठीक है, poisoning के ऊपर बहुत important है ये RC. A lot of questions are from that. And then read according to that. Right? How are they poisoning the data? So The team was able to cause an AI trained on the poison data to consistently mislabel pictures as containing apples, replacing the same number of images that had been labeled as being not safe for work with benign pictures resulted in an AI that flagged similar benign images being explicit. You also need to know the meaning of benign, right? So do not be afraid to Google the meanings. Benign is normal images which is not 18 plus. That's basically what the passage is trying to say. So knowing this will also help. A lot of people will not be able to attempt the ask, not all the questions, maybe one or two questions, because benign का meaning मालूम नहीं है उनको. So try to extrapolate the meaning. Do you know the meaning of at least explicit? Explicit content. कहाँ तो देखा होगा ना Instagram में, valuable you are in social media, ये word to meaning सीखा होगा, right? Also no, you cannot do the search thing in exam. I was just doing it to save time. So explicit is basically which is 18 plus. So benign would probably be something which is opposite of it. So try to infer the meaning also from the passage. All of that help. So we talked about mislabeling the label, right? In this and substituting. इधर कहाँ गया? Replacing the same number of images that has been labeled. So over here, a lot of people are going to say कि mislabel के कारण हो गया issue. But if you read it entirely, you will realize that the injection of digital poisons happened by substituting the input data. So input is something very different, right? So essay, you are going to understand the meanings of different RCs, and one very important thing which I feel I have repeated hundreds of times is don't advocate for an option. Basically, when you're reading, don't be like, let's take a smaller one, don't be like, first option भी सही है, second option भी सही है, third option भी सही है, fourth option भी सही है, just on the basis of it was written in the passage. It is not easy to do odd one out in the RCs. Your objective is to find what is wrong. You can say, oh, ये वाला option wrong है because of XYZ reasons. And when you try to be in opposition, basically oppose each option, it allows you to eliminate faster. And when you eliminate faster, you can choose the least wrong as correct option. Instead of thinking that everything is correct, you have to find the most correct. Because in RCs also, you can come with this idea that both these options are somewhat correct, but you need to figure out which one is the least wrong, and that is what is going to help you. So that was our 2 cents on RC. The last thing is some people have a high reading speed. To them, people advise कि try to make frameworks or keywords एक बार note down कर दो, so that you understand the structure of the passage. So when you're seeing the next question, you do not have to read everything again. You know which points to look or which passages to look at. So that is the most important thing. Now let's talk about the next set of things, which is the fill up, idioms, word, phrasal verbs. Some people can get this done in 1 minute, some people get this done in 4 minutes. And it is 7 questions. So 7 into 4, you have easy 28 marks over here. And in the past, IPMAT has not given the hardest of questions. And the way it confuses you is, wait, let me open one of the questions of last year paper. So over here, small fry is an idiomatic phrase. So in English, small fry मतलब छोटे लोग, ठीक है? It is like Ambani बड़े fish है and we are the small fry. हम छोटे लोग हैं. But people know about fish also in this entire case. So people can get confused with tiny fish because we can say कि, oh, the big fishes escaped the clutches of the law. Hypothetically, the big fishes escaped the clutches of law. That means उनके ऊपर law का pressure नहीं आया. But a small fry, our 500 notes got demonetized. You get it. I'm just using it for an example. अभी कोई FIR मत करो मेरे ऊपर. So people So IPMAT tries to confuse you with sentences which you've already learned. So I hope that makes sense. Also, Ayush saying many questions in mock 1 are repeated from topic test. What happens is once you attempt mock 1, all the wrong answers come to your topic test in order to facilitate your revision. So the correct answers do not come in your topic test, the wrong answers of all the mocks gets collected and it comes to your topic test in order to do your revision. That's basic fit and that's what we are aiming for. Again, saving grace is an idiomatic phrase. So you need to make sure you know these things. So off the cuff has a meaning. And we have flashcards for these, which people are doing and we've gotten good reviews out of it. So over here, what is the meaning of the rat race? What a nice idiom to come. All the aspirants are in a rat race. The competitive nature of modern urban life. Everyone is fighting for some seats, right? Rat race. So IPMAT next year can easily make a question ki, okay, students are preparing for a competitive exam and they are now stuck in a dash. So your options can be ki, cool. Like let's think like an IPMAT examiner, right? What type of options will they give to confuse you? Rat race ho sakta hai. What are the other things that we think about? So there's a phrase called stuck in the way or stuck in life. So people could, the examiners could put something like this. So similarly, try to think of all the idioms that could be feasible. And when you think about it, when you're analyzing it, you will realize ki, a lot of possibilities are there. I need to remember the idiomatic phrase. So let's come to this question. The government's new policy has been widely criticized for being too dash and not taking into account the needs of the people. So basically, abhi government ko criticize ho raha hai, right? Now you need to know the meaning of all of this. Holistic, I hope you guys know because everyone says IPM is holistic. Holistic ek acha word hai. They are saying ki you are doing a lot of things at once in a good way. It has a positive connotation. Flashcards mein 500 hai, right? So holistic probably won't be the answer. Altruistic, if you've read the newspaper, recently there was an editorial that talked about altruism. Altruism matlab doing good. It's also a good word. Selfless concern for the well-being of others. It is unselfishness. Like if you donate money or you do something good for the society, you're altruistic, right? So you can realize, again, sorry, I clicked on it thoda jaldi se. Magnanimous means generous and forgiving. So over here, if you knew the meaning or had an idea behind it, you would realize ki ye sab cancel kar do, myopic hi answer hoga. And myopic, if people remember their science classes, it is for people who have one of the eye problems, right? So people who cannot see properly. So government can also act myopic. So different meanings are there. And when you analyze your mock and when you see it, your objective is to learn all of these words. Show solution dalo, meaning samjho. And later, all the wrong answers are going to come in your sectional or your topic test. You need to make sure that you know not just the answer but also the meaning of all these 4 words. And that is how IPMAT ka English can be cracked. A lot of people make the mistake of just writing it and in the analysis they just look at the right answer. But why? Learn every word. Like idhar step on hua. Ayush, ek baar DMS, we'll take care of it. So after the promotion, Sheila began to delegate her work to her subordinates, but she needs to be careful not to dash them. So people who have been privileged enough to answer these things, to learn English from the start, they'll be able to answer because some amount of fluency is there. But at the same time, know ki English can also be very scientific for the most part, and the definitions of all of these can help you. Step over, step back. Like step back matlab kya? I wanted my friend to date XYZ, so I stepped back. Think about it, right? So learn the meaning of all of this. So anyways, I won't go too much into detail. Samajh aa gaya hai, know the things, put in practice, put in jeopardy. Jeopardy matlab kya? Putting something in a position that is not good. So basically you're hanging it, you're jeopardizing it, you're compromising it. वो सब चीज़ है, putting it in danger or at risk. So that is all about fill-ups and phrasal verbs. And even if you look at ये वाला चीज़ ना step, what is stopping you from googling step phrasal verbs and learning the different things that could come with step? So step aside, step back, step down. The CEO step down, मतलब resign करना, leave a job or a position, step back. We should step back and try to see how the customers will view the scheme. Step aside. Everyone thinks that the PM should step aside so that someone new can lead the party. Step forward. When I had the accident, a lot of people step forward to help. Step in, step on it, step out, step two. Basically learn it, right? So similarly, you have para completion, vocabulary, incorrect word usage, and para jumbles. These things get developed by practicing a lot, and that is what we aim to do. A lot of learning materials out there are not the most IPMAT relevant, and these verbal ability ka topic tests help you a lot. Even if you have vocabulary over here, the basics to end mein, we had someone say कि they were struggling and they used to get only 2 out of 6 correct in vocabulary, but once they did all the topic tests and few sectionals in mocks, they were getting at least 4 correct, and not just our mocks, sub institution ka mocks. A lot of you are very smart people, right? All of you need to do only one thing, just put in effort and learn. मैथ्स का दुनिया भर का फॉर्मूला आपको याद है, इंग्लिश का थोड़ा सा शब्दों याद करने में कितना मुश्किल लग सकता है. Apologies for my Hindi, I just but हाँ, incorrect word usage में भी your entire job is to learn how to navigate by eliminating options in VA. That is the best thing you can do, and you will have a mental revolution once you keep practicing with this thought process. Don't go with the thought process कि सही आंसर निकालते हैं. Go with the thought process in English कि सब गलत आंसर को हटाते हैं. Let me remove all the wrong answers, I will get the correct answer in my hand. Once you go with this, everything will be sorted. Bhanu, just DMS will take care of everything by tonight. We'll take care of everything. Right? Also Shreyash, I'm from Pondi, so yes, no Hindi background. Okay, so that is it for verbal ability for this time. If you want to know more about verbal ability, एक बार like डाल दो, let us know in the group. I hope all of you have joined it. We'll also be sharing the 2023 ka thing. We'll do one last analysis of the credential you sent, Vani.
Yes.
I'm sorry for taking so long. We'll quickly do that.
No, that was very valuable.
Oh, thank you. Okay, guys, 1 minute. Let's just open the other person's account. Also, you're on mute for a second. Vani was just saying कि someone said कि my quants is as good as Bhavish's Hindi. But the thing is, Bhavish is still doing Hindi. I hope you are still doing quants and you're still practicing and learning and giving it your best shot. Okay, I have logged in. Let me see.
Anyone having issues with the platform or any bugs, you can DM it to us. We are active, like I think we
थोड़ा ज़्यादा
reply
ही.
to like 100, 200 DMs every day. So whatever issues that you're having, please do DM. We will, especially if it's a bug, we encourage you to DM us so that we can fix it right away.
Okay. So these are the mock scores. What a good progress. 96,
Yeah,
122,
exactly.
101, 139, 93, 100.
Open, I think we won't open the questions, but we can just go through the last mock.
Huh. Let's look at this. QA question picking, really good. 6 out of 8. They were able to get,
Oops.
the hang of.
Oh, but then I could go through the remaining mocks, but then the moment, like on an average, it's been like 5 to 6. So it is something that they need to work on, and I hope that they're on the live so they can, yeah.
Huh. We'll be talking about every sort of a thing. We'll bring a more condensed and jam-packed session, which won't be a live but an edited video for para jumbles, because that is something which has a lot of nuances. And yes, elimination करने से 2 options रह जाता है. Yes, Bhanu, on WhatsApp. Our number and everything is mentioned over there. So even if you have two options left, that is where your knowledge of finding the least incorrect option comes into play. We'll talk more about that in a video. Abhi ke liye, get the idea. Try to practice this with one of our sectionals and see the difference which is going to happen, because to everyone whom we suggest this thing, we see a difference of at least 10-15 marks. Do not look at the right answer. Do not go with the intention of finding the right answer. Go with the intention of eliminating. Yes, so what can we, let's look at mock 6 ka spot, right? Mock 6 mein we had all the 3 buttons as red. Mock 5 mein everything was red. Mock 4 mein negatives were orange but everything else was red. Mock 3 mein question trap was decent but this was red. So वही चीज़ है. If you try to make these 3 boxes green, your life gets sorted for IPMAT Indore. And Monu, we will be launching AfterBoards ka mobile application in a couple of days. Do not worry. It will help you, like we understand the concern and we want to help you out in that regard. Okay, so in this, we made the platform such that you can analyze it yourself to an extent. Okay, most of my time went over here. And was this at the end? If so, all good. This question was not given a chance at all because it was trigonometry. Fair enough, some people just have not learned that. So now what is the key takeaway? Let's learn trigonometry basics, because what if an easy question comes, right?
Can I also we don't open any questions.
Okay,
so
sorry.
Some people might have not given it. But no, one thing which is good with essay is that I think time was managed well. The questions that did take over 3 minutes are questions that they were able to get right. So I think essay, and they've also scored 32, which is, I think this is how your essay attempt should look like, because everything is under time, and probably towards the end, questions that
they had
needed more time were, and ideally that is what happens in the essay section. You have more time per minute, which means that you can actually dedicate a few extra minutes to questions that you're more sure of.
In MCQ, I want to know what happened in this question. 5 minutes and 5.5 minutes were put, but then the question was left unanswered. But overall time was decently managed. You can see almost half of the circle, half of the time going for correct answers only.
Yep. And one more thing, like MCQ again, a very small thing, but then the DILR is done, but only the first 3 questions are done. So if you've been able to do the first 3 questions, it's a sure that you'll also be able to do the remaining 2. But so ideally you should not leave DI. Maybe at the end you didn't, like, you lost out in time, but then I can see that you've spent 2 minutes on the last question. So I think this is something to keep in mind.
And one good thing is that you looked at the DI set, which most people miss out on. And even though you were not able to solve 5, you did 3, which is commendable, because 3 questions are still 12 marks. And that is actually something that can translate to verbal ability also. Even if you're not able to do all the 6 questions of an RC, if you're able to do 4 of them, it's still good. You're at a good stage. It's better to do 4 than leaving the complete set, right? Some people are saying in the chat, do we get sectional mocks if we buy only IPMAT mocks? The sectionals, the unlimited sectionals are part of the full access only. Get it now, because we'll be increasing the price to 3499 yet 3399 in a couple of days. So get it now, else you might lose out on that. We have almost 450 people who are practicing. And that is why you can see a lot of people are putting effort into their sectionals and not... Kya?
A lot of people are giving a lot of sectionals. Like, I've personally seen people giving over 50 sectionals in a very short amount of time. And they don't give mocks, but then it's important to give mocks as well. Ideally, you should go from topic test to sectional to mocks.
Right.
Now, yes. So, I mean, key takeaway from this was good sectional attempt. Overall time spent on most questions is equal. Some questions, extra time given, completely fair. MCQ, more marks could have easily been scored, especially in the DILR. And VA, we haven't looked at VA,
But
but
we see negatives causing the hamper.
yeah, I think accuracy in the first two sections is so good.
Very good.
And essay mein to, it's actually, accuracy should be less. Like, please attempt all questions in essay. There's no negative marking.
Like, I just want to see essay mein, like you
Counts.
skipped out on this. See, if you had just attempted 0, 0, 0 for all of them, you would have gotten one of them right. इसका आंसर क्या था?
Yeah, and a lot of the times, like, there are
Yes, correct.
questions that you've gotten, like, that you've spent like 2-3 minutes on, right? And what 2-3 minutes does is कि a lot of the times you'll be able to figure out कि ये answer will be a multiple of 10 or something of that sort. Try to put that value in. Try to see कि, okay, let me make a educated guess, not a blatant guess, an educated guess. And guess what? Sometimes you get it right. And you'll feel happy. And you don't think of it this way कि I will not do it when I will not do it because it will inflate my mock scores. Because a lot of the times I used to feel कि, oh, if I get a guess right, that means my mock scores will be inflated. Doesn't work like that. You actually need to get into that habit of guessing questions as well. So make sure you do that.
But 0, 1 was just something we said. The professors are also realizing it. Vani has the
Yeah.
story. Vani, why don't you share that story?
Yeah, our IPM chair is currently teaching us a coding course. And he was talking about how before, when he used to make questions, he used to keep zeros and ones as potential answers. But then he started figuring out, oh, students just put 0 or 1 in the remaining 7-10 questions that they haven't attempted, and they end up getting marks. So now they're more careful about the answer option. That does not mean that any question will not have an answer of 0 or 1, but then, yeah, this is something that he shared. But educated guess is always a safe bet in essay, and that extra 4 marks might just be the reason why you get in.
And one more thing that we do is, at least I tried it during my CAT-CA prep, in the last 30 seconds of verbal ability, I remove some of my answers. And most of the times, the answers which I remove turns out to be wrong. And do not have this idea कि, okay, अरे, let me answer 4 of them. ना एक तो सही हो जाएगा, offset हो जाएगा, 1 mark मिल जाएगा. Because you're thinking from a lens of
Doesn't work like
probability. कि, oh, 1 out of 4. 4 attempt करने से एक तो सही हो जाना चाहिए. But the exam,
Imagine, yeah, like imagine that एक सही नहीं हुआ, like you're
-4
4
हो
marks
गया.
down.
And
-4, which is very detrimental
it could
to
even
your
be
prep.
like, 100 ranks ka upar niche, or it could be a cutoff which allows you to go to the interview.
Yeah, true. Imagine you not clearing the cutoff by 1 mark only because you guessed 4 questions. So don't take that risk.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think we've covered a lot today.
And we don't want to take too much of your time. Please tell me an ideal time to solve an RC. So around 8 minutes is something which we see most people do. Below 8 also works. About 8 you need to see what is taking too much of your time. Are you reading the question again and again? Are you stuck in overthinking? Are you stuck in
See, I would say कि if you're someone who's struggling with timing in RC, go solve the remaining paper first, because it's a lot more easier to skip vocab questions if you're not getting it, or filling like paragraph completion. The thing that happens with RC is like once you start it, it's hard to not do it, right? Like if you've read through half of the passage, that is the time that if you start getting worried about time, you still don't feel like moving on because you've read through half of the passage. Like now it's like you're done with the paper and you're done with the remaining questions. What, 33? No. How many questions? Yeah, 33 questions. In the first, say, 20 minutes, which is possible because a lot of the vocab questions will just take you 30 seconds to 40 seconds at max. So you're done with the remaining paper in 20-25 minutes. Now, all of that remaining time for you is to peacefully spend on the RCs, right? And this is what I used to do, and this used to work out for me very well because it allowed me to not overshoot on time when it comes to RC. So yeah, that it will remove anxiety for you, and you'll be able to be very focused, and you won't have to worry about the remaining 33 questions while you're solving the RC.
And we also see that in practice test, they have done a lot of effort, and you can see in topics like functions, they have learned through all the concepts that come from conceptual level to easy level to medium level and to hard level down the line. And even though the marks are low, every question is a learning opportunity. Learn what is over here that will help you answer this question, right? So all of these questions are carefully curated such that you get conceptual clarity of all the building blocks which are necessary to solve almost every kind of IPMAT question that could come. Yes, JIPMAT Club is a great place to do RCs. We have taken a couple of RCs from that. We have taken a couple of RCs which teach concepts or teach you certain things which open your mind to a concept. Ki, okay, I should not choose an answer just because the same type of wordings are used in the above sentence or in the above comprehension. There are going to be questions over here from the previous year CAT paper also, because it is such a good question. It's not a learning opportunity, right? And you should look at questions like those. Abhi, do not come with the idea कि अरे CAT और IPMAT दो अलग-अलग exam है, CAT का quants does not work. अरे, I'm going to open CAT का quants and show you for a second. Some of the questions are simple. And if you look at it, 2022 का CAT का paper, it's actually easier than IPMAT 2023. And even the professors at the IMs have said the same thing. So yes, the VA and DILR of CAT is much harder, but QA is pretty similar. All right. Let me see what question kaha gaya.
Also, 56 people are still here. If you haven't liked the live, go please like it.
Wait, there was this very good question. Oh, first question it, huh? Nice. So now, if you try this question, it is a very simple, it can even be asked in Rohtak exam or JIPMAT exam or Indore exam. It has a very nice trick to it which people make a mistake in. So it is not something which is JE level, like CAT Max is not that hard, but all of these help you a lot in understanding, in making your thinking process better, and in giving you learning opportunities from question. And that is the objective of the questions in the practice. Every question has a story behind it. And that story will teach you a concept. Imagine it's giving you a gift, and with all the gifts, you'll be able to solve the questions in mocks, because everything is interconnected in maths, right? If you did not know a simple thing of functions, you would not be able to do an actual functions question in IPMAT. So that is the entire objective. So yeah, questions later here in order to make you learn some particular concepts. And someone said
Also, on reading editorial, it should be 15 to 30 minutes, not more than that. That is not something that will directly help you, but definitely it's required.
All my RC answers are correct most of the time, but then skipping to other questions first reduces my chances of getting more accurate answers. A lot of time I miss one RC from the strategy. Makes complete sense. To each their own. Some strategies will work for you, but not for others. So you need to utilize different strategies, see what is the most comfortable with you, what is giving you the most amount of marks, and then follow through. Fine, this is not a one-size-fits approach. VARC is going to be very different because people have very different competency of English. Some people are very good, उनके लिए और कोई strategy. Some people are just starting out, उनके लिए और कोई strategy. Some people are medium, उनके लिए और कोई strategy. Right? So should we take some 1-2 questions and then call it a night?
Yes.
All right. For the remaining people who are still there, thank you so much. We'll be sharing this 2023 syllabus, the updated one, in the WhatsApp group. So join if you have not, and if you still have not taken learning material and whatnot, we are basically compiling and putting questions. It has, like, instead of looking at 4 or 5 books thinking you'll miss out on something, we've gone through 4 or 5 books and we've brought all the concepts in one place. And that is what our objective is. Instead of carrying 6-7 books of different things, IPMAT का एक सही book नहीं है ना. We have compiled everything here, and the long answers come again for you to do revision. everything is sorted, and then you can even do analysis. Now imagine the student has to learn geometry. So they can just choose all the IPMAT mocks that they've given, 4, 5, 6, 7. They can be like, okay, I want to see the essay MCQ, I want to see only geometry questions. Boom, 47 geometry questions of IPMAT level for them to learn, from. And this is not something that you get in every other marks, right? So, Isha, yes, so we talked about parallel jumbles. It has a lower, क्या बोलते हैं, don't break your head over parallel jumbles, focus on questions with higher marks per minute. Some people leave it, some people choose 2 out of 5, and they try to aim for that. So unless you're extremely good at parallel jumbles, put that same amount of time in something else, and if time remains, then come back to parallel jumbles, right? Arnav, you can look at the economist. I believe that should be much harder than Hindu. So, anything else, or we'll call it a night? Do join in the group. We'll send everything over there, and we really appreciate all of you tuning in. Aman, I'm not able to concentrate on studies at home. Should I join crash course of Supergrads and career launcher offline center for the competition and environment? Please answer. So some people learn. Vani, do you want to take this?
Wait,
Cool. So
wait. Go.
So some Aman says that they are unable to concentrate on studies at home. Should I join crash course of Supergrads or career launcher offline center? So Vani has a very good story of how she prepared. Hello, am I audible?
Yes.
Are you doing?
No, I was replying. Yeah.
Okay,
Somebody
no
had
issues.
called.
Issues. Let me.
No, it's okay. Go. Yeah, just you can answer it.
So the thing is, she used to prepare by going to, she went to her dad's office, and over there she used to sit, no internet, no distraction, and she had a book, right? And later, in order to help her with all the questions and doubts and everything, she used to just attempt mocks, and कभी भी कोई भी doubt होता था, she used to quickly Google it, and it used to give her answers very, very quickly. And she used to learn quickly. So she was not chasing after completion of syllabus कि हम सब चीज़ करेंगे ये chapter का. एक बेसिक अंडरस्टैंडिंग के बाद क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करते जाओ, हर क्वेश्चन से कुछ सीखते जाओ, एंड दैट इज़ द बेस्ट वे टू गो अबाउट इट इन द नेक्स्ट 50 days, क्योंकि अभी टाइम नहीं है टू बी लाइक हम सब चैप्टर्स परफेक्शन तक करेंगे. तो डोंट चेस परफेक्शन, चेस प्रोग्रेस. इसका बहुत सारा फोटोज़ होता है, एंड people take it for their mobile ka screensaver and whatnot, so you can even look into it. It's a very good motivational one. Now, Bhaiya, in Supergrads video, someone promoted your mocks. Yes, our mocks are that good, and it's more than just a mock platform. So now, if you feel like you want to go to an offline class because it will instill discipline onto you, fair enough, you can definitely do that. Or if you want to find a place which is less distracting, be it a library or somewhere away from home, you can even find that. So look at your finances, talk to your parents, make sure you attend demo classes. Every year we hear a lot of stories where people have put a lot of their hard-earned money into offline coachings which just does not give them the same result. Monu, thanks for this amazing session. It has changed my perspective on doing mocks. Thank you so much. That was the objective. Vaishnavi, I do one essay first and the second one in the end. Perfect. To each their own. Aman, I hope we answered that. I am a partial dropper and my college exams are going on. It's very difficult to manage. You need to realize that you cannot do both the things perfectly. You cannot give 100% to both. You need to either compromise and be happy with just passing your college exams in order to clear the bigger picture. Any advice to do right now for interview? If you can speak English properly, all good. 1 month is more than enough to identify and track your interview. If you still struggle speaking, maybe just summarize the comprehension in a 30-second, 1-minute speech or an extempo of the RCs or the editorial you read. It will be helpful for you. Any tip for number systems? So what we do is, number systems have a lot of questions that can be answered through frameworks. And frameworks, like if you want to see, say, remainder or unit digit, you have cyclicity, right? You must have heard of it. So all these frameworks, ki step 1, find this, step 2, find this, step 3, find this, helps you do almost 70 to 80% of all number system questions possible. So have 2 notebooks. So in notebook 1, you can put your formula, you can put your frameworks, and you can even put a list of errors that you seem to make all the time. So in this way, you're making a list of your mistakes which you need to be cautious about. And in notebook 2, you can have chicken scratches. And when we say chicken scratches, it basically means all question practice. And that is something that will help you out. I have applied for Christ entrance in 7th. Akshat, if you want to do accountancy from scratch in 5 days, it's going to be a little hard even for Christ ka thing. But not hard enough that you cannot answer at least 30 to 60% of the questions. A lot of one-shots available on YouTube for you to look at. विश्वलूट सुपर क्लास की वीडियो में आपका डैशबोर्ड का प्रमोशन हो गया. ठीक है, कुछ अच्छा आया होगा उनका चैनल में फिर. Like all love to the sir who teaches. Last time also they had a revision का thing offline or online, मतलब वो live YouTube live में. The questions were good and he taught maths. क्या बोलते हैं for the students. But it's just that we do not like how they promote a safe ideal target score. Like they themselves said that 330 is the safe score for IPMAT Rohtak. Now they're like, इतना aim करो इंदौर में हो जाएगा. Now if we can also say कि अरे 230 aim करो ideal score safe score हो जाएगा. But the thing is, we can actually say for our mocks. ठीक है, mocks के लिए बोल सकते हैं क्योंकि हमको मालूम है level of difficulty. You cannot say it for an exam that you've not seen yet. What if the examiner right now in Indore is like, Rohtak ने बहुत सही किया last time, एक twist दे दिया, हम भी एक बार twist देते हैं, cut off 310 हो गई है बाहर, क्योंकि बहुत easy maths दे देते हैं, maths में मुश्किल हो रहा है बच्चे लोग के लिए. Boom, काम खत्म, your safe score is rendered useless. So yeah, can I fill 6 achievements? Sure, you can fill 10 also. Well, to find questions you just showed, just go to afterboards.in. And this is how we help you. Okay, stages of IPMAT prep. So this is one is handwriting. Stage 1, learning concepts. So all these topics. It's divided into 4 levels. Bhai, kya cute hai ye. Stage 2, strategy and time management. Unlimited sections when you try out your strategies. And yes, one student did give 87. Like we have 4 or 5 students who have given 100 sectionals. So stressful. Stage 3, attempting mocks. 75 marks. And then you have the spotlight, the 3 whatnot. Stage 3.2, analyzing. We showed this also to you how you can, see all the 7 marks are just geometry, just algebra, or even on the basis of whether you got it right or wrong, or easy, medium, hard. So, and then you have revise, where all the wrong answers and unanswered questions of your mocks come. So you can ek saath do all of it. And then we gamify things. And we see a lot of people get some motivation when they see ki, arey, oranges, flags. It's just small features which make your brain more consistent with things. So yeah. Do a giveaway for all access 1 entry free. I wish it would. It just would not be fair for all the people who have purchased it. So, Yash, I give 3 sectionals each day. Thank you so much, Yash. Calm down. But yes, good you're practicing. If you're able to maintain it, all good. Bhaiya, I'm going to buy iQuant 25 course along with your mocks. How should I practice? So the thing is, attempt the free mock and enable WhatsApp us. I think WhatsApp में हम अच्छे से conversation लग सकते हैं.
Yeah, I would say yes, because a lot of people also text us their mock scores, but a lot of the times because we've not seen the mock that they're talking about, it becomes hard for us to give them actionable things that they can do to improve their scores. So just give the first mock and then you can send us your scores, and then from that we'll be able to analyze better what your strengths and weaknesses are.
And if you can study, please so jao abhi, raat ho gaya hai, please leave and study. That is the best thing you can do right now. We do not want to show कि अरे देखो live में इतने लोग हैं, घंटा फर्क पड़ता है. We care more about who is in the platform studying, ठीक है? So please go. Yes, I start mocks from April. हाँ ठीक है, 3 दिन हो गया है. 3 दिन में you'll be starting this. Also yes, you can apply for Rohtak. I messaged Rupert. If a person who already has purchased will give the money back. We have क्या बोलते हैं, like some people who have like genuine problems at home, like we have
Yeah.
tried to help them to the best of our
I
ability.
think, yeah, I mean, a lot of people have applied, and everybody who has actually approached us, tried to make sure that we at least give some leeway depending on whatever proof that they were able to come up with. So, अगर genuine है, तो you can definitely write us a mail. We'll look into it and we'll try our best to help you out.
I think we should make a separate video for RCH. I'll see.
We should have a video for everything.
ठीक, फिर 11:01 auspicious time है.
11:11 is in a
ठीक है.
submission.
अच्छा, 86 and 10, 70, 80% expected in 12. Should I apply for Rohtak? If you're a general candidate, it's going to be hard. You will need the best scores for it. But if
No,
you,
I would say
if you have
don't expect to get in, because what is happening with Rohtak right now is they're making their exam easier, which means that students are scoring close to full, and that leaves you no leeway to compensate your board exam scores. And people who are usually applying, they do have 90 plus, 95% plus. So the smart thing for you to do is not get demotivated, first of all, but realize that, okay, Rohtak might not be the best option for you. Indore, higher chances, focus on Indore. JIPMAT, higher chances, focus on
Ranchi mein
JIPMAT.
also,
So,
because Ranchi mein we have general
Ranchi,
people
yeah.
who have 70% in their boards have gotten in the second round itself. Okay.
Yes.
I'm commerce ka student. Can I finish syllabus in 40 to 45 days? Let me tell you a secret. People who are in IIM, if Vani goes and asks her batchmates ki syllabus khatam hua kya actually, they will tell कि अरे syllabus खत्म ही नहीं हुआ IPMAT के दिन. ठीक है, because you cannot chase after syllabus completion. Syllabus is vast है, NCERT नहीं है कि सिर्फ ये 20 pages से ही question आएगा. IPMAT में कोई भी nook and corner से कहाँ से भी question निकाल के दे सकते हैं, but most of the questions, majority of the questions will be things that you would have come across if you had practiced all the mocks, all the topic tests, all the sectionals, etc. Last year itself we had 3-4 questions that were very similar to the questions we had in just 5 mocks. Can you imagine that? So basics are very, very important. वो grid वाला question we had before, the Zook वाला, which had come in MCQ 2023. So I hope that answers it. JIPMAT 23 syllabus, we'll be making JIPMAT का. Reading Norman Lewis at this point is a blunder. देखो, if you read Norman Lewis right now, it's going to eat up a lot of your time. So it's not the most efficient approach out there. If you just look at root words online and learn the words through all the tests that you're given and through the vocabulary.com ka list, I hope you've done this. This is very, very important. We have seen IPMAT questions come directly from these sets of 80 to 120 words. ये 100% रखो. Can I get study material? Krishna, our entire objective is to please come and take our study material. So yes, just go to AfterBoards.in.
Also, Identify said his brother is after him for giving all 12 marks. I agree with your brother. I motivate your brother to force you more.
Yeah, you can try completing that, and if you complete that, you can jump over to this.
That's not all. Give more sectionals after. I mean, you have to do all the mocks and then keep giving sectionals as well.
Can I get what was VA cutoff in 2023 for Indore? It was 125. I'm moving to class 12. What should be my basic framework for carrying board IPMAT in 12th? Tejaswini, one of the biggest mistakes people say they made was they did not be consistent. So right now, do not be of that idea कि हम देख लेंगे board exam के बाद. If you study in your school every day अच्छे से, the NCERT syllabus in itself will do a huge boost to your CUET prep. CUET में at the end.
Who selects word of the day?
Us. So CUET.
Sorry,
CUET का syllabus में you mainly have 4-5 questions at the end which make or break your top DU or other colleges, right? And you should not be in a position where you're focusing on basic questions at, after your boards. By the time the boards are done, hell, you can even prepare for boards by giving CUET come mocks, because at the end of the day, it's testing your NCERT concepts only, right? From where can I get it for JIPMAT? We offer all of it in one big package, Krishna. If you have more doubts, you can WhatsApp us. Our WhatsApp number is this, putting it over here. Identify safety, I don't have sectionals, that's why I'm asking for all access. Yes, no, sure. Some days Vani does it, some days I do it. That's basically it. Does Indore and Vanchi provide scholarship? Yes. There are scholarships for, wait, where is that? Financing. We have one article, we'll make a video also on it. So recently at IIM Ranchi, 3 students got, of each year, so first year is a teen student, second year is a teen student, third year is a teen student, were applicable to get scholarships. So IIM Ranchi has this merit cum means scholarship, which they do. Indore majorly has modern math, but Rohtak and JIPMAT don't. Should we focus more on other topics which align with all 3 exams? Isha, so modern math also takes a lot more practice. So if you learn logarithm for the first time today, you will need to practice again and again in order to keep it real. So I would advise you to do both of them side by side, because the algebra and arithmetic that come for JIPMAT and Rohtak are much easier compared to Indore, generally speaking. So if you do IPMAT ka questions and just focus on all of it, because it is necessary, you'll be able to solve most of the questions in JIPMAT and Rohtak. Scholarship till what extent? You get 40,000 rupees per term at Fanchi. Bhaiya, is IIM worth it? For us it was. For a lot of people it is something that changes the trajectory.
For us it is. It's definitely worth it, and especially if you're in commerce. Of course, that doesn't mean that you don't apply to other great options, but no doubt in it being a huge value add to your career.
Krishna, around 15 to 18 lakhs. We'll make a community post on this time. So do subscribe in case you are not. Also good, we have more people leaving to study. That is a good sign. So if you are done, we are just here for people at the end, just to give a little bit of motivational boost. Go study! Which coaching should I opt for? No coaching is going to help you out in a good manner unless you are willing to be helped. 80% of people don't watch more than 20% of lectures. Plus, after COVID, we were able to see videos online which had on par, if not better content than most coachings out there. So, if someone is able to clear from coaching XYZ, they were also able to clear from coaching ABC. You need to realize that a coaching does not own the success of a student, unlike what JE or these institutes would like you to believe. In the case of IPMAT, it's surprising how almost half of the batch that gets into an IIM said कि हाँ हो गया, हम सिर्फ मॉक्स लिए थे, हम थोड़ा पर्सनल इंटरव्यू का ये ले लिए थे, थोड़ा सा रिविजन एंड में थोड़ा सा एक वीक के लिए हमने क्या बोलते कोई PDF डाउनलोड कर दिया था, कोई वीडियो मिल गया टेलीग्राम पे. This is something like that. Yuvan, ideally need to get every question in VA collect because cutoff will be going up, right? Cutoff going up is not, like your cutoff is not an increasing bar graph. Your cutoff increases when the questions are easy. Now what if the questions are difficult in 2024? Then your cutoff will go down. Isha, so if you're familiar with modern math, yes, jump to things which you need to learn more now. So Yuvan, we saw that the cutoff fell from 20 marks for essay to 12 marks. So cutoff can go up or down depending on the mood and the decision which the exam paper setter takes. You cannot analyze a graph.
A lot of people are doing CFA at Ahmedabad.
A lot of people. Like
a lot.
Everyone is doing CFA. And
the thing is that a lot of people actually find it easier. A lot of the syllabus that you have at Indore, or the quant syllabus especially, helps you with CFA. So if you study well after you get in as well, it helps.
Yes, Yuvan, 12 marks is 3 questions. You had to get only 3 out of 15 questions right to clear the essay cutoff.
How many hours did we study? I used to try to clock 8, but then what was more important was how much output I had. So I think the number of questions that you're solving based on the difficulty is a better metric for you to decide on in terms of how productive you have been. So would recommend that more.
But what's the point of doing CFA when you're in an IIM? देखो, even in an IIM, your objective is to now compete within the people in the IIM. Right now, your objective is to compete to get into an IIM. So, वही चीज़ है, never settle for mediocrity. So just because you get into an IIM, ऐसे मत सोचो कि life set है. Even there, you need to compete for the grades. Even there, you need to compete for the placements. You cannot be average over there. Yes, Indore and Ranchi does provide scholarship. आज जल्दी सो जाना cuties, don't overwork yourself.
My sleep schedule is very bad. I slept at
One
6 in
needs
the
to fix it.
morning.
My parents are fixing it for me because now I'm at home.
I slept at 6. I woke up at 1:30, went to class.
Vani was working all night, 6 a.m. sleep.
Atharv said, unfortunately, I'm not cute.
Last 50 day strategies. I think the last question later was a bit bun kal today. I'm very tired. I feel like my summer placement. You think you guys would get in? Identify. Let me just tell you one thing which will blow your mind away. An IPM student has gotten higher package at IIM Ranchi in summer placement. So sure.
Wait, are you asking, you think you guys would get in? Are you talking about us?
I think he's talking about a summer placement. You think you guys would get in? So I was answering for us.
Wait, I'm still confused.
I'm trying to understand PNC, but I can't tip they do try a lot of stuff. Keys question. Yash, एक बार okay wait. एक person का नाम ऐसे है I cannot talk. I need to first tag him here because he's asking the same thing again. DM us on WhatsApp. We'll send you the list. We'll send you the list of all scholarships. उसमें से you can go through and look into it.
People are more excited to know house tour when you're not in IIM Ranchi than they were when you were back in college.
I am too.
Oh, he's talking about us only.
अरे
If we would get a summer placement. I opted out. Like, we have a social internship after second year. I opted out. I got myself a cute internship so that I could also focus. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, definitely. Like, there are great companies that come. It's very competitive for sure. You do have to work extremely hard. Like, if you talk to anyone in my batch right now, they'll tell you how exhausted they are because we've had a deadline or an exam every day in the past week. So definitely after that much effort, you do get placed in really good companies. But yeah.
कितने के stipend मिला वानी दी? I'm pretty sure she's earning
Oh, it's a
right
social.
now.
हम ये सब YouTube पे नहीं बनाते.
I wish I could tell them about what I got just to show them कि हाँ देखो हो सकता है IPM में.
नहीं, be humble. Be humble. Don't be.
Okay, हाँ last 50 day strategy. ये last question है. Last 50 day strategy do's and don'ts who have just started. Yes, we have answered this in the live. Like just फट से देख लो. But objective is attempt mocks, learn from mock ka concepts, learn from mock ka answers, make sure you know the 3 key parameters, do not waste too much time, do not have too many negatives, and make sure you attempt all the easy questions by smelling out the easy questions, putting them, giving them first preference in your options, in your attempts. Basically this ABC ka approach. Abhi karo, baad mein karo and chhod do. We are not aware of TAPME का cutoffs क्योंकि they do not reveal it. Yes, Vani will do full-time afterwards, even I'm doing full-time afterwards.
Yes, email us. We will
look into it.
help you. Yes.
Apart from IPMAT exam and PI और कुछ का भी वेटेज है क्या? दीपिका प्लीज गो थ्रू आवर कम्युनिटी पोस्ट. अभी जस्ट हमने डाला है बहुत अच्छा सा इन्फोग्राफिक. This was such a good joke. Unlike healthcare in USA, the first afterboards mock is free. Bernie Sanders says. हाँ, देखो these are the क्या बोलते हैं weightage criteria.
If you're getting depressed, first, I say this a lot. Think of good backup options. Stop romanticizing Avondor to a point where your mental health is not good.
Is IIFT Kakinada worth it? Apply for it. If you get into Bodh Gaya, Jammu and IIFT, then we can have a conversation on what you need to select. Try to apply for all the backups feasible financially because it is a costly affair. So if you've gone through it, you can see for a general candidate applying to all these colleges itself is 20,000. Plus more exams, even more cost. So we call it a night? हो गया सबका?
Yes.
सो जाते हैं. Very tired. And yeah, guys, अरे इतना help हुआ है. I just want to say one last thing. Thank you. देख लो all access. We have put a lot of effort. We've not slept for months building on this, and we promise you इतना अच्छा experience you would not find elsewhere. If you are someone who can sit and study and solve questions, this is the best place to be to get the most IPMAT level experience and to get exams ready. Siddharth, अभी तो रात शुरू हुई है. So I just want to like someone क्या?
It's Siddharth from your batch.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was trying to say someone had asked, no, do you think you guys will get summer in places? Siddharth is working in a top, what is this thing called which people do for 80 hours a week? Investment banking. Huh. He's basically managing portfolios and is an assistant somewhere. I'm sorry if I'm over glorifying it, but yes, he's in positions where MBA students are jealous of. Kamya, guys, being an AB. Arey, thank you so much, Kamya. If I get into an IM, would you identify? You're looking at a lot of hypotheticals. Right now, just focus on Palai.
From where can I get the share capital of AfterBoards?
Kotak Mahindra AMC. Siddharth, you can play it down, but these are things which people really die to get into. So Siddharth is a batchmate from Ranchi, who clearly is chilling out instead of working. Also, fun fact, Siddharth actually had made the... Oh, do you know Siddharth has actually made the questions of the first mock, I think.
First mock, yeah.
First mock. So he's the math guy behind the mock that we just analyzed. भाई 2025 वालों के लिए क्या करूँ स्टार्ट कैसे करूँ right now it will DM us. We have this really good message on how to shut up and start studying for IPMAT. Sorry if it's a little rude. It's basically what the title of the article is. And usme we basically tell how to start preparing for free such that you can instill discipline. So, instead of just jumping into preparation, we teach them how to build that base and the discipline so that your learning rate increases. And that will help things out.
I think we should call it a night.
Yeah, we'll call it a night. I'm so tired. You also need to, take rest.
And they need to study. All of you need to go study instead of being on a live.
OG let it post. If there's someone from Reddit or Discord here, study bhai. थोड़ा awkward crossover हो गया है. PIs invest more on advertisement like your mocks.
ये जाके टेलीग्राम पे
Please
लिख दो
invest more on advertisement. We are putting the money in Max. We don't have money. We are trying to advertise how much ever we can. Tokyo extracurricular. Okay, इसका भी एक बहुत अच्छा article है. We need to get a blog set up soon. But WhatsApp us. I'll copy paste that. We'll copy paste and send it to you. Yash, PNC Kare, can you look at PNC Basics animated video? I think that will help you in understanding what permutation is doing and what combination is doing and give you a structure in your brain as to what is happening. Extracurricular achievements क्या करूँ बहुत सारा चीज़ें करने को and the thing is at the end if you're preparing for IPMAT with the goal even if you have one or two it's more than enough. Your academics play the biggest role. Krishna, we have a WhatsApp community and WhatsApp DMs for everyone to talk to. So it is in the description over here. You can just click on WhatsApp and then you can join the group, WhatsApp, IPMAT WhatsApp group in this video description. Do they take Gloppia students or do they don't prefer? They prefer, not an issue of it. Yep. Kamya, we will try to invest in YouTube advertisement, but please do help us with word of the mouth advertisement. Tokyo, is that One Piece का DP लग के Tokyo रखा है नाम. Nice. उसके नीचे Naruto is commenting. उसके नीचे you have Krishna with the DP of L from Death Note.
We're having so much fun doing this, no?
हाँ. Imagine. Anyone asking questions about ECS or anything?
Go watch the
ये वाला
most
short देख
recent
लो.
shot.
Last two का. How extracurricular activities work and how you need to fill it up. These two videos will clear all the doubts you have. Siddharth, let's go. Thank you so much. क्यों नहीं हो रही पढ़ाई? Bro, but what she's telling you to call a night for the past 15 minutes. Yes, Phil, close it. Take it, Phil. Thank you so much for being here and joining us. I hope you joined.
No, I said it once. Bhavish himself has said it thrice.
Very nice. We had 1500 people watch, so we appreciate that.
That's nice.
But हाँ, video में WhatsApp group है. Please join in. It'll help out. And you can DM us on WhatsApp anytime. 100-200 DMs आता है and we try to clear as much as possible.
We have cleared all.
Yes.
Not as much as possible.
Sorry. Vani sat today and cleared everything. Wait, everything,
Yes,
right?
we take turns. No, not yet. मतलब थोड़ा बाकी. But we clear all. We never leave any
Exactly.
DM. I mean, in 24, at max 48 hours.
So
We
where
aim
should
for
I
24.
practice VA? Platform में हमारे पास unlimited VA sectionals है. Unlimited. Practice करते जाओ. कैसे खत्म होगा हम all questions डाल देंगे. Already got a WhatsApp reply from your side. That's Vani's magic, Krishna. ठीक फिर टाटा गुड नाइट एंड कर देते हैं.
Good night.
3, 2, 1 good night. Thank you so much Siddharth also. I hope your internship is going good and you prepare well for CAT and we see you at ABC. Community managers का we will look by the end of in a couple of days or
We're still evaluating.
हाँ. Thank you so much. Tata. Closed.